Hey everyone, I'm a student intern at Triangle Arts, and I am in conversation with our artist residence, Ilana Harris-Babou. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just a kind of sunny day in Brooklyn.
Okay, the weather is definitely getting better.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start off the conversation. A lot of people in the Triangle community are not artists themselves, and they would love the opportunity to understand art and artists better. How did you first get started as an artist?
Yeah, I think, I grew up in Brooklyn, so thankfully I had a lot of exposure to art and I had friends, growing up whose parents were artists. So it seemed maybe more so than it would for other folks to be like a possible opportunity or possible career path. Um, And I started making art really sort of as a painter when I was quite young, getting into like oil painting and stuff like that, and perceiving that to be like what it meant to be a serious artist. But by the time I got to college, I got to be exposed to more media, video, and sculpture, which are more my media of choice nowadays. And For me, I think, making art and learning or pedagogy, teaching and learning have all always been sort of intertwined. So learning art at school, in school, with schools, outside of school, and still feeling very attached to those resources and ways of talking about art and being an artist.
Okay, so I definitely agree with your point. I do think there's like this bigger, like interconnected aspect to it. And tell us about, you had this transition from painting to film. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think, I realized as I was making paintings that there's really only one moment in the life of a painting I was excited about. And that was when it was still wet and messy, still sort of in a state of becoming. And then the final product felt more like an artifact of what was really exciting to me about the process. And so after a while and some frustration, I realized, why don't I just show people that moment, the moment that's so exciting to me? And that's how I started to sort of bring the camera into the studio, was really turning it on those moments in the studio and trying to capture them and figuring out how, after shooting them, I could edit them together in a way that might make sense to other folks outside of the studio. And so then kind of beginning to make objects that could be the props and the sets in my videos, and those sort of installations started to take on a life of their own as well.
Okay, that's amazing.